Hey everyone, so this is another video that I'm doing now that Kamala Harris has called her vice president, has named her her VP pick, and they seem to work well together, but the energy has shifted. So we're gonna do a little bit of a peek into Kamala and how that's gonna work for her now with the elections and her governor Tim Walz. So her VP, sorry, Governor Tim Walz. I'll be working with the Lenormand, and you guys, there is a Lenormand course coming up August 24th. So you want to be a part of that. It's going to be fun. We're going to look into love and all these other juicy things and how to predict, how to utilize these 36 cards for predictions, and they work quite well, or explanations of a current situation, how to read them, how to intuit with them, how to flow with them. So join this workshop, and I'll be teaching all of that. Excited to see you there. It's only $49.99, I think. So it's totally doable. And yeah, I'm excited to do it. Okay. So let's dive in now with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and how this is going to work out for them, because the minute I saw that she had picked her VP and it wasn't my personal favorite, I would have loved it if she'd gone with Pete Booty. I can't even pronounce his last name properly. Buddy Jig, Buddy Jig. Yeah, you guys know. It I guess it wasn't his time. I guess it wasn't the right time for him. It's not the right time for him. But I also immediately felt this energy of calling in favors, calling in or paying off favors. And so we're going to have a look into that. What was I picking up on? What is this? But seeing them work together and how well they bring that mom and dad energy together. A little bit of the loopy mom, school teacher, camp director, and the local, the Midwestern dad image that Tim Walz has, and the kind of like this local summer camp director vibe. I mean, I think we can all relate. Like, he totally reminds me of the energies I felt during my childhood in schooling in Canada and in the US. And yeah, let's see what's coming up with these two. So once again, I'm going to lay out the cards and then switch the view so you can see what I'm seeing, and have a look at what this is going to be. For all intents and purposes, I'm already choosing who's going to be who. So we're going to do Tim Walz is going to be the gentleman, and the lady is, of course, Kamala. And Kamala. Usually the lady is the main person and the gentleman is her partner. And we know Kamala's husband, and he's quite a character as well, but really seemingly really sweet. And but for this reading, the gentleman will be Tim Walz as her partner, and we'll see how the others show up or choose to show up. The Lenormand is a lot more intuitive than the tarot. So yeah, 1 second. I'm just going to lay it out, and then I'll switch the view so you can see. Okay, so we've got the layout here, and I already found the lady, which, as we stated before, was supposed to represent Kamala Harris. And up here in the top right-hand corner, we've got Tim Walz. So he definitely, up here is the cross. And remember that where the characters are looking, the direction is the future, where they're facing away from is their past. So reading from Kamala's viewpoint, this would be the future and that the past. And from Tim's viewpoint, this is the future and that the past. So you can see that they're looking towards each other. And this is one thing that we're going to learn in the Lenormand course, of course, is where is a couple? And this is a political couple, this is a business couple, but they are in a relationship with one another. So that they're looking towards each other is really, really, really good, because that indicates that they're both working on the same future. They've got the same goal. They're working in the same direction and they see each other in their future. They're sharing this concept of a future together. So they're definitely working together, which is ideal. Kamala is leaning a little bit on Tim. Why? Because we see that Tim has the higher position. She's giving him more energy and more putting him a little bit on a pedestal, giving him more weight than herself. There's still something a little bit uncertain with Kamala. She's not as fully self-confident. I mean, she's relatively self-confident for the position that she's in and how far she's come and so on and so forth. Compared to normal average people, this is a very self-confident woman. She's also not completely at the bottom. She is somewhere at the top, but she's got a healthy vision and view of herself. She's not completely not that she would be narcissistic if she was at the top, but usually narcissists do show up at the top. But she's got a healthy view of herself, let's put it that way. But there is also a little bit of doubt. Now, there's still a decision that she has to make. There's a decision, and she's looking down the path, but the path has to do with just making a decision. There's still another decision that is coming that is weighing on her mind, that is weighing on her mind. She is pretty she's pretty confident about this all. So the cards around a person card, of course, detail the characteristics of the person. So the cards around Kamala are the snake. So this would indicate she's a wise woman. She's an older woman. She has dark hair, dark eyes, and she goes about things in a roundabout way. She doesn't go directly from A to B, but she kind of snakes her way there. But also the snake has to do with, duplicity, has to do with shady morals. But we're going to look away from that, okay, and focus on the wisdom, going about things in a very wise way. We've got the clouds. She's someone who tends to overthink, who worries a lot, but she's also very happy-go-lucky with the clover, and she tends to live in the now. There is an element of immaturity about her, of youthfulness and freshness with a child. Again, her anxiety issues show up here with the birds and overthinking. She can fly off the handle. She can be very hurtful with the words that she speaks. She has hurt people tremendously. She's very sharp. But she can also be very forward, which is the rider, and almost pushy and high energy, highly energetic person. But she can also be very brash with her words. She doesn't shrink back from an altercation or to fight. She's also a fighter. This is indicating she's a fighter and she's ready to fight for this. So what she's not happy about, what she's fighting though, is this stardom, like being in the public eye that much. She doesn't enjoy that. This is not something that she enjoys, even though people would think that she would, but she really, honestly, it looks like she doesn't. We have she's more of a peaceful person with a garden. She's a public servant because the garden has to do with the public, has to do with parks and agencies and institutions. So she's connected to that. She likes doing that, being on tour, shaking hands, talking to people, being philanthropic, doing all of that. But this absolute level of stardom of being the alpha standout, she's not really built for that. And that's causing her tremendous anxiety here. We've got the tower here as well, indicating her government position, the peach government position. This is indicating that it will be hers, or that she thinks it will be hers. She believes it will be hers because the garden has to do with high standing as well, right? So very exclusive. And the tower represents borders, governments, countries, that kind of thing. So it does look as if this position is coming her way. I did have a feeling when I saw Tim Walz, I thought, uh-oh, because he stands for a lot of things that a lot of American people, well, I don't know if a lot, but many don't stand for. And um, I'm not sure they're ready for the amount of leniency that he has to offer, but we'll see, I guess. I don't know. Um, what else is coming up for her, please? We've got down here the ring. Yeah. She the ring always has to do with contracts, and it has to do with agreements, has to do with contracts, agreements, that kind of thing, right? Yeah, yeah. And also recurring, so coming around again. Um, they're planning for the full 8 years. They are definitely planning for a full 8 year stint for Kamala. And they like, and I say in air quotes, they like that she's fresh. They like that she's fresh because we have here the child, and underneath the child is the key. They really want to, the powers that be, because somebody said, and it's kind of stuck, that presidents are selected, not elected. And she's definitely, they like that she's fresh. They're betting on her, put it that way. And it's almost something that's been contracted. There's some kind of agreement that has been that she's a part of. The book. Yeah. The book has to do with secrets. Okay, so she does have skeletons in her closet. Absolutely. She does have skeletons in her closet, things that aren't out in the open yet, and they worry her. Oh, yeah, they worry her. The clouds, direct connection to these secrets may have to do with finances and money, her job and her work, the anchor, and the scythe. So here we see her job and her work. She's deeply connected to and identifies herself through it. Her high energy, and that she does have the energy for this position, and her health. She's in good health. Um, see, for her future, yeah, the outcome though, all the way at the end is the loss. Okay, the loss of the mice. They The mice is a complicated card because initially we want to take this as a loss because the mice are like what's in the pantry and nibbles up your food. But traditionally, what came before the mice was what was lost, and what came after the mice is what is gained, because the mice also leave droppings. So they eat what comes before, but drop what comes after. And you learn all this in the Lenormand course that I'll be doing with you. So but there's nothing that comes after here. But if we see this whole thing as a ball, right? This whole layout, this is a 2D version of something that's 3, even 4D. Then we have on the other side of the mice, we'd see the fish. And the fish represents dreams, money, wealth, competence, dreams coming true, right? So she's worried that she's going to lose the ability to make her dreams come true. And she's worried about if she's able to carry this role with the bear here. The bear is a very protective energy. The moon card has to do with her career, her standing, her fame and fortune, and how she's viewed. So it feels as if she feels that if she doesn't win this, then she's lost her career. For her, this is a do or die situation. If she doesn't win this, then her career is down the drain, kind of thing. And so she's going to be deeply invested in doing things right and making her dream come true, because this is a dream of hers. But yeah, she was selected, she was contracted, there's an agreement, there's a contract in place. In the center of this reading, we've got the broom, so things are they're going at a fast speed, the star, and the tower and the birds, government. Um, Some people are saying there's not going to be an election. I don't see that. I do see an election happening, but I do see stuff escalating worldwide before that, like everything breaking out in riots and revolts, and even things around warfare being amplified before the elections. I do see the craziness rising, and so does she. Now, Tim, on the other hand, and how they stand to each other, she saw him as the only option. There was one option, and it was Tim. That's their connection here. Tim is right over here as the gentleman. So the connection to them from her is she sees him as an option. Remember, the paths is options, decisions, whereas he sees her as opportunity, right? He doesn't care about her. He's not there to, yeah, Tim has a little bit of an ego, but he's loyal. The cards that are around him are, he's definitely he's got some kind of a belief in a higher power with the cross here, and he feels this is his destiny. Actually, he's now thinking that another destiny is moving into the realm of possibility for him. And he's definitely a loyal character. He's a steadfast character. He's slightly boring. He's comfy, the Midwestern dad. He's very protective of those he loves. He cares, he's ambitious, but he doesn't put it out there. He doesn't make it like the center point of his character and personality like others do. And there's definitely something that he missed in his past, or that he lost in his past. I don't know. He might have lost someone in his past tragically. Um, but there's some kind of a loss that from his past that is defining him. May also be a loss of money that he experienced in his past. May have bet on the wrong horse at some point. Okay. I want to take this card as the card of Biden. For some reason, the bear and Biden, I don't know. As I'm touching it, I'm feeling the energy. This is also, yeah. So Biden was the one that is putting these two together, Waltz and Harris. They probably talked about this a couple of years ago already, but Biden and Waltz, I feel like they are tighter than people recognize. They're closer than people recognize, and there's a mutual friendship and loyalty and a shared view of the career, the job, what it entails, the direction it's supposed to go in. And it feels like Biden has a positive view of Harris, but Harris feels slightly irritated by Biden. So she keeps that well under wraps, though. I feel like this writer is Trump. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I feel like this writer is Trump, and she is she's on him. She's definitely on him. She believes that she can cut him down. He believes that she's too innocent for this job, too naive, too young, too inexperienced, because the connection here is the child. And he believes that he's going to win this. He also has a connection to Biden. They're connected. Trump is very concerned. Like, there's the clouds that is connected to him. He's very concerned. Biden feels this is fate. There's anxiety around money with Biden. I've picked up that before. I don't know what this is and why a person in his position would be anxious about money, but there's an anxiousness about money. He just wants, yeah. Yeah, there's a falsity with the fox that is connected to this card that I decided to tag as Biden. Okay, so it does look like they have a good future together. It does, because the cards that meet in the middle are Garden, Star, and the Tower, which represents government, and below is the House, which is stability. And that meets right in the middle between Waltz and Harris. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, there's not going to be an election, or Trump has won, or Trump certainly believes he's won. He believes he's a man of the people. He believes he is the only option. But I don't know, because Kamala's going to fight really hard for this, because she feels like if she doesn't win this, her political game is done, that she's lost. But Trump sees this as his destiny. There's a lot of destiny going on right now. I don't know what they all are seeing or talking, or who they're talking to, but they all believe this is a moment in history, a defining moment in the American history or world history. They're fully aware that this is how important this moment is. And they're going to be propagating that more and more and more as we get closer and closer to November. But they all believe that they are fated players on the world stage, that this is their fate, this is their destiny. But Kamala's afraid to lose. She's very afraid to lose. The moon can also indicate, usually in traditional Lenormand, it's the career, it's fame, it's being in the public eye. But of course, if we take on the meanings of also of the tarot and what the moon generally does, it's anxious, and she's got anxiety issues for sure. They come from childhood. Like there's a childhood stuff that she hasn't really paid attention. Well, no, I think she has paid attention to, but it's still there. And it triggers every now and then and causes her immense anxiety. There's money involved in this whole situation, which also is worrying to her. Money. This could also represent the economy, possibly, and very worrying to her. But what I'm worried about here is this mice card, the loss of reputation. Something's going to come out about Kamala. Something is still like a skeleton in a closet. She's very anxious and worried about it and how things will come across. And she's worried that if it comes out, it will take her chances. They've probably done all they can to keep it under wraps, but there's a lot of digging going on, and there's a confidence that Trump is bringing into this, that he's got it bagged. But Tim is standing right opposite him and is just as confident. But Tim seems to be, it's Kamala's ticket and he's just along for the ride. There's that energy. So Kamala is still very unsure. She's a little bit immature and unsure of herself for this job. Trump has gone into deals. Trump and deals and deals and deals, also with government institutions. And that's why he thinks he's got this bagged. He's gone into deals. He's made deals. If you do this for me, I'll do that for you. Because here's him and here's the ring. And the ring, once again, contracts, obligations, things of that nature. Kamala is relying heavily on the protection of Biden. And she's counting on the support of women. Trump figures that there are a lot of loyal supporters here and that he will get others to switch as well. Something about the swing states. Does that swing states? I keep hearing swing states. Waltz is interesting because his corresponding card is over here, the snake. So he's got a lot up his sleeve as well. He comes around across as the chummy chummy daddy, but yeah, he's got secrets. He's got secrets, you guys. There will be war. Within a year, there will be war for the United States of America. Yeah, this is going to be a tight, tight one. Oh, so I just recorded the last part of this, and then I realized that I didn't press on recording. So I'm just going to recap what I was, what came up and out. And unfortunately, because it's a recap, it won't have the cards that I can show you. But basically, I asked about the relationship between Kamala and the working relationship, clearly, between Kamala and Tim. And it's a very good one. It's a very harmonious one. It's a healthy one for sure. Vance and Trump's relationship is not so healthy, and I'm not quite sure how long Vance is going to be able to tolerate Trump. There's that, he's not going to give up easy. I'm not saying he's going to drop him anytime soon, but behind the scenes, there may be a lot going on where Vance starts to distance himself or only deal with him in a certain capacity if it hasn't started happening yet. As much as they can because they have to work so closely together at this time. But I feel like Vance is already up to here. But uh Waltz and Harris actually get along. Waltz does see Harris as a rising star. He's there to support that. He's there to support her. He's leaving her the leadership of this. She's looking to him for advice and support, but he's looking to her to lead this. He's following her. He's absolutely clear about that. And it's totally fine. He's there to support her, but he does see a new future for himself shimmering into being. And but he's not going to act on that just yet. Kamala, it feels she's a little uncertain or hesitant still, like she's still learning the ropes a little bit. And like I said before, in the bigger reading, the larger reading, this is not what she set out all those years ago when she started studying law. This politics wasn't her thing, obviously, but she actually realizes she prefers doing the shake hands and the walkabouts and the things like that. But to be this much in the spotlight, that high on top of the world, she'll do it. But is it something that she really feels this is what I live for, like Trump does? Not quite sure. Yeah, so it's interesting, but what I'm feeling now after doing these readings after she named him was that there, because so many people are saying they're not picking up that there's going to be an election. I do feel there's going to be election, but I do feel that there's going to be so much else going on in the world and in the US at the time, that the elections are going to be kind of like on par with that. It's not going to be a standout, but amongst this unrest or this happening or this blow up or that blow up happening. And I do feel that it's going to be very, very close. It could even be a tie. It could even be a tie where they're uncertain who won for quite some time. Um, I feel that it is her time now. Spiritually, I really feel that it is her time. Um, but we'll see what actually happens. We'll see how it unfolds because there's so many factors folding, rolling into this, and so many energies and entities and things that have a stake in this that are riding on this. So we'll see how it all unfolds. But I do distinctly feel that it is her time and that the time has come for the US to actually walk the talk and move away from a certain type of image around leadership. But the thing is that in the subconscious of the American public, these traits are still deeply entrenched in what is strength, what is leadership, what is capability, what does that all look like? And so there's that where I get a little bit because Waltz and Harris kind of they just make you feel so comfortable and just feel like everything, the world is fine. Like they give hope and they give a fresh breath. That's what I'm picking up energetically, but I don't know if they're giving the strength that people also want to feel or see. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it unfolds and how that develops. But at least they work well together. That looks good. Anyways, you guys sign up for the Lenormand course. It's $49.99. You'll find the link in the description box below where you learn to predict, utilizing these little cards to predict things for yourself, your family, your friends, and understand your relationships better and getting a deeper insight into what's happening on the other side, what's happening, what's coming into your life, what's occurring in the situation that you find yourself in. And alternatively to that, just book yourself a session with me. It's also in the description box below. Sign up. And I use multiple modalities. So I do astrology with you, cards, of course, straight channeling. You can choose from a variety of things that I offer. And but also, even if you book something just by time, we can do a variety of things as well. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to working with you and seeing your potentials, your possibilities, and your options for this time coming up for you. We can look ahead to the next half year or even into the next year if you choose. So that's it from me, and I'm excited to start cracking on the next one. See you soon. Bye.